up, guys? This is a video. I have two Rupes LHR 21s, the Mark IIs. I had these for about 3.5 years, and it's time to do a little facelift for these things. I went to buffdaddy.com and I ordered an upper and lower handle assembly where the trigger's attached, the top and the bottom part of that. I ordered the head cap assembly where the white it's basically the top part of the Rupes where your hand goes, where you apply pressure downward. It's got the white rubber on the bottom part. On the left, the machine on the left I'd done already. The machine on the right, right in front of me, you could see how disgusting and gray it is. And I wipe these things down periodically. So you can see all the new pieces on the left side of the table next to the backing plate. I also ordered the stainless steel Allen head bolts that hold on the head cap assembly. I got this from Buff Daddy. It's Kevin Brown, and he's a solid dude. I ordered it online. It got shipped out very fast. It's very easy to do this. It's the first time I ever did it. There's 4 screws that hold the upper and lower handle assembly together. The 2 longer ones are the ones I'm pulling out right now, right below the motor. At the base where the cord comes out, these are the 2 shorter ones. I just lined them up. I put them inside the it's like the rubber shroud that protects the counterweight, or protects you from hitting the counterweight into something, because that would definitely do a lot of damage while it's rotating. Now I just use a small flathead screwdriver to kind of pry this apart a little bit. It's gently, it'll come off. This is the lower section. I'm still working it. Alright, so you got this off. You got the trigger. And I believe I have to flip it over because the cord has a it's basically like a stop. If you look where the cord comes into the housing, right here, there's two screws that hold a little plastic like retainer that holds the cord down to the base, so you can't accidentally rip the cord out of the motor. And basically you would have to then solder everything back together or rewire it. So I'm disassembling that. It's just 2 screws that hold that in. It's pretty simple. Get that off. I think I opted right here to get the other lower portion and just literally swap it right over. And I wanted to attach the cord stop right away, so I didn't accidentally pull the wire out. This is pretty self-explanatory. It's got like a rubber grommet kind of thing that locks into the bottom of the handle. There's a little space for it to slide into that holds it. And what would that be called? I don't know. It's just for the cord to have some extra flexibility, and you know, that's the area that bends a lot. So I'm screwing this back down. I also ordered the new brushes. These brushes were probably 60%. They probably could have gone I would say another year, but I had it apart. I'm like, you know what? I have never served these machines. They made me a lot of money, and I owe it to them to kind of get them back into good shape again. The only thing I wasn't able to do was grease where the gears go. I actually tried to take the counterweight off, and the Phillips screw started to strip. And I just went with the saying, if it's not broke, don't fix it. Because I've done too many things where I broke something that wasn't even broken. So I just left it, and that'll get addressed another time. I'll probably put a new cord on this eventually because they were filthy. Right now I'm doing the brushes, and I'm going to zoom in for you guys. Alright, so I got zoomed in. I'm just pulling the like the quick connect wiring connector off. It's standard for pretty much all brushes. That's where it's going to make contact. There's a little spring that holds it in. You could take the spring off, and it just kind of rests on the on like the rotor part of the motor. Just memorize how it's in there, and this again is pretty self-explanatory. Just take your time. Wiggle it off with the plier. It looks like I'm aggressive here because everything in this video is sped up 2x. Took me about 40 minutes to do this. And doing the other side. I'm going to stop saying anything right now. I'm just going to let it play. Alright, so right now I'm pretty positive I got all the wires lined up. I'm happy with how it looks. Double check the brushes. And now I'm going to get a rag. I'm just using whatever degreaser I had at home, which was LA Totally Awesome from the dollar store. It works really good for getting rid of rouge from the metal polishing. I'm just working it around the speed controller dial, the yellow part where that mounts into. That dial just pops right out. There's like a oval shaped piece that connects into the yellow part. You see, I just took it off by accident, and I just realized it pops right in and out, like a dial on an air conditioner. Did that, and now I'm just going with the open housing with the all-purpose cleaner. I'm just cleaning out any junk, dirt. I mean, these things are old and they have a lot of dirt and grime that's kind of in the seam. So while I have it apart, I do that. I had a toothbrush right there, you could see, and I'm just working all around trying to get as clean as possible. Now, for some reason, this machine, this is the second one I did. I figured I would be faster after I did the first one, but it still took me the same amount of time, minus 4 minutes. So, this housing on the handle assembly, I don't think it was molded perfectly. It really took me a little while to get that in. I made sure I wasn't pushing any wires. I had it aligned. The two went into each other like tongue and groove, and it was just giving me a problem. I was checking everything. I was checking the trigger. I was checking I guess the switch that the trigger makes contact with to make sure that was sitting flush in there. All the wires were where they're supposed to be. When I ended up getting the screws in, it finally pulled it all together and it looked fine. But it was a little bit of a pain to get this part to work right. I'm just using the microfiber in my finger, a little bit of Totally Awesome. I'm cleaning out the counterweight area. Now I got a little toothbrush. I have a detail brush also that's in the water right there behind me. If you look to the left of the screen, it wasn't stiff enough. I needed the toothbrush to get the polish and the compound that got caked up in the air vents. Or whatever, the little vents for the counterweight. I just wanted it to look clean, so I used that. I put the old brushes back in the bag. I got the stainless steel hardware ready to go in. This was more or less a cosmetic fix for these machines. They both worked pretty well, honestly. But the head cap is disgusting. I couldn't stand looking at it anymore. The base, the trigger assembly, and the bottom part of the handle was all gross. So the only thing I have left that's original on there is the is the main part of the body where it has the tag that tells you the manufacturing date. To be honest with you, when you have the Rupes apart, it looks kind of like a Harbor Freight rotary polisher right there with the little red button on the top. I'm just wiping down the head, keeping everything clean. If you treat your equipment good, it'll treat you good in return. All right, so I ran in the house, and on the other one with the 6-inch backing plate, I had a washer. I did the washer mod to that one. This one, I don't know why. When I put the 5-inch backing plate, I must have dropped the washer. I honestly didn't even realize it because majority of the wintertime on Rosemar's trucks, I was using a bigger machine with the bigger backing plate. And I just went upstairs, and I happened to have a washer that fit to do the mod. And that's why, I don't know if you could actually see, but the rubber counterbalance shroud on this one is all worn and burnt up because it was making contact with the backing plate. If you look at the blue backing plate, you can see those black marks on there. And that's from where it's making contact with the shroud. So in order to fix that, you get a little washer. You know, it has to have a hole big enough for the Allen head bolt that holds the backing plate down to fit through it. You could do YouTube. Everybody does it. It's a great mod. It really makes the machine perform a lot better. A lot smoother. Just blowing out any cleaner that could have got in there with the little leaf blower. Wiping it down. I think now I'm going to just clean the body with the toothbrush. And this is way, way better than the detail brush on this particular application. Alright, so now I'm going to get the brand new head cap. This just makes the machine look brand new again. I love it. And I keep putting the bottle right in front of the camera view, and I realized it there. I was ready to throw it off the balcony. These stainless steel Allen key heads to hold the head cap on. It was an option that Kevin had on his website, and it looks awesome with the stainless steel ones instead of the plastic. Way, way better looking. This is at my apartment. I don't have my tools here. I literally just have a little toolbox, so I'm trying to make do with what I got. They just line the shroud up with this little tab. I actually jumped ahead. I put the washer on there. I ended up having to take it off again, but just trying to clean the backing plate up a little bit also. Trying to clean the white up. I would highly recommend anybody that that works in a disgusting environment. Eventually the machines are going to get nasty, because the reality is you end up working 14 hours, 16 hours. The last thing on your mind is cleaning the machines. You just want to go home to your wife and chill out. So this was great. After 3.5 years, these machines got such a nice little facelift. I'm so happy with how they look. Got new brushes. Like I said, the only other thing I got left to do is get some grease in there where the gears go. I'll do that eventually, but based on how worn the brushes are, I'd say I still have a while before that's even going to become an issue. And if you guys have a 21 machine, 21 millimeter Rupes, if you put a 5-inch backing plate on it, it's nice. You get into some tighter areas. I have a DeWalt battery-powered 15mm dual action that I'm going to do a review on soon. The 15mm, you definitely notice a difference. It's not as crazy as the 21, but it works nice. It puts a good finish on everything. And now for the disgusting part, is cleaning the cords. These things get dragged around. You know, the majority of my detailing work has been on semi-trucks, so everywhere I am, there's grease all over the place, and these cords just, you take a beating. I'll probably end up replacing these eventually too, but that's pretty much it. I'm going to let you guys watch the rest of the video. I hope this helped someone. I've been checking on YouTube. I never saw a video in depth on how to do this, so hopefully this helps you guys out. And if you have any questions, you can leave me a comment and I'll reply back. I got all this stuff buffdaddy.com. You can go on there. It's broken down pretty easy, and you can order exactly what you need to get your machines back up looking tip-top shape and running. Thanks for watching, guys. And like usual, give me a thumbs up, hit subscribe, and I'll keep the videos coming. That's it. It's just to help you guys. All right, thanks.